Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Good afternoon and welcome to Love and Relationship. My name is Ndun Indun. I will be sharing with you some wisdom keys about love and relationship. Stay tuned. Good afternoon. Today I'm here in the studio with this lovely people, a lovely couple that have been making waves on the social media. And I have a lot of questions to ask them, especially Gabe.
Wow.
You know the question I'm going to ask you. So today we're going to have a fun time here.
Yeah, of course.
First of all, I want to welcome you guys to South Africa. Well, in South Africa, there is love. People find love and people get married and all that. So I want to talk about both of you. Please, you may introduce yourself. Let me speak to Gabe. Your full name and where you stay for just our listeners to know.
All right, so my name's Gabriel Deku, currently live in the UK, and I work in compliance, which is working in asset management, looking at rules and regulation within our firm.
Okay, interesting. Wow, I thought you run an event or something, because I see you almost in different YouTube, different places.
Yeah, so on the side we have a lot of speaking engagements and stuff like that, but full time we're actually professionals. So I work in banking and I work in sales.
Wow. So where do you find time to move around?
Just make time.
Yeah, London is the city of busyness and hustling.
Yeah.
So we work full time. We're doing a lot in our work sphere, and then we also have a YouTube channel where we share all things relating to love and relationships, encouraging people with practical steps on how to have healthy relationships. So we've got we get about 100,000 views a month on our channel, and we just encourage people through vlogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think he has already introduced you as Anna.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, how did you guys come about this new adventure of encouraging people, hosting events? How did it all start?
I think it was basically through how we got together in the first place. We've both been in previous relationships, and those relationships ended very badly, in the sense that we weren't with the right people. We were manipulated in relationships. We made the wrong decisions in terms of the people that we got with, and then we decided to do things a different way. And then we happened to meet each other, and then we had a healthy relationship, and then our wedding video went viral because Gabes was crying. So it's just been
we soon come into that part because he needs to tell me why he was crying. But before we get there, were you guys married before or just in a relationship?
Just in a relationship.
Or just in a relationship, which I don't know who happens to have married the first person he or she was in a relationship with. Most people have to try maybe 1 or 2, 3 relationships before they can settle down. Yeah, okay, that's great, because that also seems to be like the story of my life. I had a relationship before and then now discovered, no, this is not the right person. And then you can understand how the right person would look like because you know how the wrong person looks like.
Yeah, so, that's big.
So now tell me about the wedding video that went viral. What really happened? Was there an anointing in you or something?
It must be, because I'm definitely not the crier. It was so unexpected. I don't know. I think the lead up to the wedding was great. I was just excited for the day that I'm going to get married. And then when I stepped foot in the church, it was just overwhelming. Like, oh my God, that this day has finally come.
Wow.
And especially speaking on what Anna was saying, like we both went through very messy relationship to the point where we were manipulated. Well, I was manipulated, and I was told I'll never find someone as good as the person I was with, even though I was getting treated so bad. And then I just had a moment of reflection. Was like, this is, according to what I was told, this was not supposed to happen.
Yes.
It's like, and it was so significant, and I just had a moment of like a sense of appreciation and appreciating God for wow, like this is everything I wanted but didn't think I could have. Wow. And now it's right there in my hands.
Wow.
Yeah, so
wow. That was
an
great.
exciting day.
But maybe God allowed it so you could step into your next ministry of going around to encourage people. Because I think that really gave you a leap into this ministry, which you are. A lot of people now want to know why is it right? They want to watch the video and all that. well, God works in different ways.
Yeah, because we started YouTube before the wedding video went viral, but we weren't that consistent. We were just like, oh, we'll post when we can. But as soon as we went viral, we're like, okay, clearly we need to. People want to know more about our relationship, so let's share more. And we've been consistent in sharing weekly videos since then. And then the speaking engagements came and all of this. So yeah.
Wow. So now you have is it a ministry or an event? What do you call it? What you have now to speak to people, that platform, what is it called?
It's an online ministry, I guess, through YouTube and speaking engagements. So we don't host our own events, but we go to speaking engagements and talk to, I guess, millennials about how to have healthy relationships.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so the vision is helping people to have healthy relationship.
Yes.
That's the vision.
Because anyone can have a relationship. Everyone wants a relationship, but to have a healthy relationship, that's a completely different ballgame. And I think people are not really aware of the decisions that they're making. They're very subconscious. Like, I grew up in this type of household, or I have feelings for this person, so let me just go with the feelings. And you know, there's another way to do things, and there's a way.
And I think for us, with we don't just focus on the relationship or marriage element, so we talk about how to love yourself first. I think people go into relationship expecting to find true love where they don't even love themselves.
That's true.
And all that happens is that the insecurities come back up again, and then they're in the same vicious cycle. So whilst you're in your single season, if you learn how to love yourself, appreciate yourself, then you'll be able to not go into a relationship expecting so much, but then you'll be more willing to love that person. Because people go into relationships sometimes for selfish gain rather than looking at what they can build together.
And you know, one of the things that confuses people a lot is how to prove that this is the right person. What made you sure that Anna was the right person for you?
I think at the beginning you can never be sure. There's a level of risk involved because I think time is the only thing that will allow you to really appreciate what you've got. So we decided to take it quite slow. So at the beginning, me being a man, I was a bit I don't want to say aggressive, but I was a bit more forward and intentional. So I let Anna know, like, look, I'm very interested in you. I want to take this further. And Anna was the one who said, okay, look, we've both been through very messy situations. Let's take it slow. So we went through a situation of 6 months of really getting to know each other without the added pressure of telling everyone that we're dating. I think when you involve people too early, then you kind of get clouded and like, oh, you guys look good together and all that kind of stuff. And then that starts clouding
relationship goals, and you haven't even decided if you two are the goal yet, but everyone else is defining your relationship or situationship. So we kept it quite private, only told a few people that we allowed to speak into our lives, and that helped us. But I think for me, I was looking at his character, like who is this person? You know, who is he under pressure? Who is he in group surroundings? Who is this person that I'm choosing to date? And what's his vision in terms of marriage, relationships? You know, I might think, oh, I want to get into a relationship with him. He might be thinking, I just want to sleep with her. So we might have different ideas of what a relationship is. So for us, it was very important to qualify. Like I work in corporate sales, and in my opportunities have to qualify whether it's a good enough opportunity. So in relationships, it's like I'm qualifying him. Are you worthy to be my husband? Like,
am I willing to give up my singlehood?
Am I willing to give up my singlehood that is so good, like for a man? And when you are enjoying your singlehood, you don't want to give it up for someone that's not worth it.
So I think to answer your question, we actually went in quite slowly to get to understand each other. Had a time period where we asked very difficult questions. We laid all our baggage on the table from the get-go. There was no surprises, and then we just went from there. And then we were like, okay, this is who I am. Do you still want to go forward? And then I officially asked her out properly, took her out on a date. So in that 6 months, we didn't go on any dates. It was more like a McDonald's, like, you know, what you do with a friend, but nothing like too intimate, if that makes sense. So so then officially asked her out, and then we just went from there.
I like what you said about character, because this is one of the things I share with people in our events. I said love is based on character compatibility, and it is developed by mutual understanding. So whatever reason, you know, people marry for or get into a relationship for, if it doesn't have the character compatibility, for me it may not last, because the character of the person is what you'll be interacting with every day of your life. You know, whatever you see, a lot of people go into physical attraction. I say to some people, I say, marrying because of physical attraction is like buying a product from the shop because of the packaging without considering the content.
Wow, yeah.
So you come to a point that when you now open the package, the content is not what you like. It's the content that satisfies. When you get a product, you want the content.
Yes.
So a lot of people are moved by this packaging of our bodies and all that, and then they don't know that that's not what you will be interacting with. So character is one key thing that I encourage people to, and I believe that's what you saw in each other. Because for there to be a strong, loving relationship, it has to be on character.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. There were so many other guys that were there that, you know, have got the same. And there were options. No, no, but there are. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of guys. They all, you know, dress well. They all have a beard. You know, beard is the new thing. You didn't even have a beard when we met. But yeah, a lot of people with the external appearance, and you can easily be distracted by that. Like in my previous relationships, oh my gosh, that's all I looked for, just the physical appearance. And you get into the relationship and you realize there's no substance to this. Your character is not something that I would want. Yeah, you're not growing as a person. Our values are not even aligned. So what is the point? Yeah.
No, that's really true. And how have you been enjoying your marriage together? How long have you been married for now?
It's coming up to 3 years in May.
Yeah.
3 years?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. And I believe it's been going wonderful and well.
It's definitely.
Yeah. Marriage is sweet, isn't it?
I think for us, we are actually best friends. So the foundation of our relationship, that we actually enjoy each other's company. We actually like traveling together. We like doing a lot of things together. So we're just building upon the foundation. But obviously, we're not perfect. We have our few humps on the road.
Yeah,
but
it happens.
Yeah, it happens. But I think we just pride ourselves in just kind of continuously to learn. We don't have that many examples around us. So we're kind of just like, we even went to a marriage conference recently in Texas just so that we can continue to keep learning. So because we keep learning, rather than waiting for times to go by in the good times, but also just keep learning to grow, so we know what to do in those difficult moments.
No, I'm very happy that you've been married for 3 years and you're this happy, because I know that the first 3 years are always very challenging.
Oh my gosh.
Because that's when selfishness comes in. I say to people, the greatest enemy of love is selfishness. It's not the devil. Just leave him out. Because the truth is that, you know, an adult, we've grown up as adults, we live our lives. So when you get into a relationship, you're trying to protect yourself. You're trying to look out for yourself. And now, you know, trust is being built gradually. And personally, I don't know for you guys, but me, I don't believe in love at first sight.
No.
Personally, I believe what we have at first sight is attraction. And people sometimes mistake attraction for love. Because love is when you get to know and understand the person. So what if you say you love someone at first and that person is a suicide kid?
Exactly.
It's just going to kill you. I mean, that kind of person. No. So we have to get to know one another. So I like the way you took your relationship step by step. You get to know yourselves and all that. But you know, someone is listening to this and asking, what's really the proof of true love? I mean, what will help me to know that I've found that right person? What will you say, Gabe, if you're being asked that question?
So I would say love is, like you said, it's not really that feelings and emotions. For me, it's like a strong commitment. So I don't think you can really experience true love really in the relationship stage. I think true love actually comes from a state of a declaration that I am with you through, you know, in good times and in bad times, in sickness and in health. And I think the love really started from when we actually start getting married, like because I'm now declaring before people that I'm with her through sickness and and everything. So it's like a real strong commitment.
Okay, we will take a short break and we will continue. But for those watching on Facebook, we will still keep talking.
Okay.
For those listening live on radio, please just give us some few minutes to take a short break. Thank you.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. brandlive.co.za. Making a bold statement yet blending into the surrounding suburbs of Melville, 27 Boxes is a realization of edgy design and practical implementation. A radical departure from the shopping malls of our generation, yet not a return to the high streets of our youth. 27 Boxes showcases the best of a shopping centre set in a garden, surrounded by the bohemian suburb that is Melville. 27 Boxes, shop, play, eat.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstownmedia.co.za.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za.
And we're still here in the studio with this wonderful guest of mine. So I'm talking to Anna now. Anna, I would like to know, what are the lessons you learned from your previous relationships that makes this one different? Because somebody might be going through that kind of relationship now, and then it's looking for a way out.
Yep. So many lessons from my previous relationships. Gosh, I don't know. Like, it's just such a blessing to be in such a relationship that I am in now, because previously it was just really not that way. Like, I was very feelings led. Very feelings led. Like, I'm a feelings person. I'm an emotional person. So for me, feelings used to be a very strong indicator of the direction that I was going in. So if I felt a certain way, I'm going in that direction. So if I was very attracted to someone physically, I was going in that direction regardless. And I realized that emotions are not a great way to live your life. They're not good leaders at all for your life. You know, sometimes your emotions will tell you one thing, but the character of someone is saying something completely different. But are you going to go with the character, or are you going with the feelings? And I think for me, I was very feelings led. And the guys had no substance, had no value. They didn't see the value in me, you know, in terms of the amount of time that they committed to me was not a lot at all. So the signs were there, but because my feelings were leading me towards them, I was going in that direction. And it really led to a lot of destruction in terms of the relationship. So I think with this relationship, even though the feelings were there for Gabes from the beginning, he's a very attractive man, but I was like, I'm not choosing to submit to these feelings. These feelings are not going to lead me. Okay, show me who you are, which is why we went through the 6-month dating period of really getting to know each other in just social gatherings. I'm like, okay, so tell me about yourself. Let me see how you treat people in group surroundings, how you treat me, how much time you're willing to give me, how you cope under pressure. So it was a real test, because I was like, I don't want my feelings to lead my decisions anymore. I want to be led by the values of the person, by the character of the person. And I think that's a few things that I did differently in this relationship that led to this.
So what you're saying to the people is that love is not blind.
Love is not blind. It's not blind.
We're trying to delete that from people's mind, because a lot of people go with this understanding that love is blind, which is the feelings. I think that's where you're led by the feelings, the emotions. You just see the person, you just jump into it. No, love is not blind. Love is based on knowledge and understanding. You have to know and understand this person. And for me, in my first book, which I wrote about 4 main reasons people get married, I spoke about love needs as being the right reason to relate. I've spoken about physical attraction, no. Physical gains and wants, no. Because I say to people, physical gains and wants is like doing a boring job for the rest of your life because of money. You know, I've spoke about manipulative relationship, which I say that's when people come together because of a situation. They have no love for each other. Maybe they have a baby together, or maybe they are family friends or something. There has to be a manipulative situation. But love need is when you get to find someone who meets your love needs the way you want to be loved. Because every one of us, we have a way we want to be loved. Like you mentioned, spending time. You've read the book by Gary Chapman. So you find out that, you know, if that's what you love, that's what makes you feel loved. If you marry this guy who travels all over the world and gives you all kinds of gifts but has no time to spend with you, you definitely not feel loved. So people must have to look for the person who can satisfy them the most. So but let me ask Gabe too, what are your own experiences that made you so sure that Anna is just the right person?
I think it's kind of touching on to what you said about the way that you want to receive love, but I think it's the willingness to want to, because I think Anna generally is a words person, and that's the way that she wants to communicate her love. But for me, I'm more of an acts of service type person. So I think Anna was able to adapt herself to meet my need, even though it wasn't her natural ability. And I think for me as well, I'm able to adapt my I don't like word of affirmation. I'm more like, I'll show you I love you by my actions, but I'm able to adapt. And I think for us as well, we made a conscious decision not to bring sex into the equation whatsoever. Because I think in previous relationship, it was always like the go-to.
Yeah.
It was like, we have an argument, have sex, you feel better for the moment. And then so where you say love is not blind, but lust is very blind, because when you're in a situation where there's sex involved, there's so much physical attraction, there's so much things that's based on the external, those are little things that make you feel comfortable in the moment, but it doesn't sustain itself. And you're not able to see the bad things because you're constantly sweeping under the carpet, you're blind. So just really getting to know the person for who they are, and not just looking at their physical attraction, not just looking at, you know, the external things, but looking at the heart of the person and their character. I think for us was just a really trying to get to understanding of, do I actually like you for who you are or what you have? So
we both had a willingness to change and become what the other person needs, and I think that's the most, you know, that's so important. We both have different love languages, but are we willing to adapt so that we can meet the needs of the other person? Are we both willing to learn in our marriage and realize that we don't have examples, but can we humble ourselves and be like, we're going to marriage conferences, we're going to sit under people who've been married for years to learn from them, because we don't know how to do this by our own strength.
And the thing is, in a marriage, we've only been married for 3 years, and I think like over the 3 years, we change. We're changing every day. So the fact that we have that initial willingness to love, like as Anna's changing, I'm learning how to adapt my love so I can keep meeting her needs. So it's that constant involvement of, like, we're just riding this journey and we're just loving each other along the journey. Okay, you change. Let's talk about it. Let's adapt and keep going again.
Are we going to continue to choose to love each other? I think that's what we were seeking in our dating phase. Like, will this person seek to choose to love me? And that's the question that we always ask, and the answer was yes. So, and we've noticed that in our marriage, that we're always choosing to love one another.
Wow. You know, something I discovered about love, in line with what you guys saying, you spoke about choosing, is that love has two sides to it. Love is a discovery, and love is also a choice.
Yes.
If you look at the Bible, you see when God created Eve and brought Eve to Adam, there are two statements he made which were profound. He said, "This is now the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh, she shall be called woman." The first statement is a discovery statement. This is now the bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. Wow, I found somebody who loves me, somebody who's connected with me, someone I can relate with, you know, with the same understanding. Now, the second one was choice. She shall be called woman. I say to people, it's like he gave his name as a surname.
Oh, wow,
Man. Remember, God brought the animals to him to name them. There was none he called lion man. He didn't give his name as a surname to any of them. But when he saw this one, he said, I have chosen to love you. Therefore, take my name, woman. And there was a proof there, because even when Eve caused that God had to drive them away from the garden when she ate the fruit, Adam didn't divorce her. He said, come on, I choose to love you. Let's go together.
That's true.
Where we going, I don't know. Let's go. So I say to people, you have to choose to love your spouse. Even after you found the person, choose to love your spouse. Because for me, marriage is simply like a virgin garden given to every couple by God to cultivate what they want to harvest from it. So you plant what you want to harvest.
Exactly.
Whatever you want. You see, your marriage is new and unique to both of you. I like the way you guys do it. You have a style to it. You know, you don't copy and paste. Yes, you can learn from others. But before you use it, make it yours. You know, format it to be yours. The way it suits you. So one of the things that pushed me into this marriage thing was, you know, when we got married, we hear people saying marriage is endurable. I said, no,
no way.
Marriage is something you can enjoy.
100%.
God can give you the whole of your life to
just
endure. For what? You know, so, but some people don't understand these principles. And I believe that some of the principles are what both of you have shared today. You know, like what I said before, having a vision is very important. Make sure, you know, you agree and say, oh, myself and my wife, we say we want to enjoy a marriage. And so if I want to do something that I ask myself, will this make me enjoy my stuff? She also. So we use that vision to check ourselves. So we don't have to have arguments all the time. You know, we know where we're going. So I really love the way you guys are going about this, and I really pray that you succeed.
Amen.
I pray that wherever you go, doors will open for you.
Thank you.
And you'll be able to impart and help people have this understanding.
Yeah.
Basically, for me, one of the things that pushes me every day to come here is I want to restore the glory of marriage.
Yes.
Because in this generation, it looks like people don't no more desire to marry. It's like, we're fine as long as we're together, sleeping together, and all that. So when I saw you guys, I was very happy.
Wow.
Because I knew that, yes, I have example in these people also working together to restore back this glory. For people 100%. To see that marriage is sweeter than just being a boyfriend and a girlfriend.
100%.
You understand
so
what I'm
beautiful.
saying?
It's such a beautiful institution. Like, the Bible says marriage should be honored by all. Come on, why is God saying that? Because it's such a beautiful institution, and when husband is loving his wife like Christ loved the church, and a woman is submitting, like, the beauty of that will show people that Jesus is Lord.
And then just on a real practical sense, it's like it's building society. I think everything starts from a marriage, and then you build your children, and then you build a society, and you build a nation. And I think if everyone wants to look after their nucleus, the world will be a better place. But the problem is now that because we're not doing it God's way, I would say that we have a lot of broken relationships, and as you have broken relationships, we give birth to children who are learn in a broken environment, and then it just goes on and extrapolates itself, and then we've got all this chaos. So I think if we all go back to the basics of a husband and a wife who love each other, who care for each other sacrificially, and raise children in that environment, then the world will be a better place.
Guys, I wish we had time to really
enjoy this conversation.
And I'm really looking forward to meeting you guys again. Maybe we'll do something together one of those days, because I really like your spirit. But in wrapping up, I just want to what's the last thing you could say to the listeners out and the viewers?
What's the last
a word of advice or something?
Do you want to go first, babe?
I would say in a marriage, the basics still apply in terms of loving yourself enough, and just so that you don't deprive your partner. Marriage is not going to complete you. It's an amazing institution, but it's not going to complete you. So you don't have to be full within yourself. And then when you're full, then you're able to give. Marriage is more about the giving element rather than coming in trying to drain your partner and expecting so much.
That's true. Very, very correct.
And just the single ladies and gents, just enjoy your single season and really get to know yourself, because the more that you know yourself in your single season, you're bringing a healthier you into marriage, and that will strengthen your relationship. Like the fact that me and Gabes were both two individual whole people in Christ, and bringing that wholeness together. It's not two halves that come together and they complete you. It's two whole people coming together, and then you're even stronger together. And I think that's the most beautiful thing. So don't waste your singlehood just searching for a guy. The guy will find you, ladies, at the given time, and they will see your true worth for who you are, rather than you trying to prove yourself to them. I just believe that you'll just shine from within if you're secure in yourself.
Because this whole marriage thing is actually a multiplication game. It's one addition. So if it's like 1 times 1 equals 1, you become 1. But if you look at, if you're half a person and you're going into marriage, that you're actually worse off. So 0.5 times 0.5 is 0.25. So you're even worse off being married with the
halves and not being whole.
So
wow, thank you so much, guys. I really enjoy this time.
We love being with you as well. Check out our YouTube channel as well.
I will do that.
It's Gabes and Anna.
Okay.
And we just share our relationship.
And I learned you coming here for an event somewhere.
Yes.
Where is it happening?
The Night of Love in a venue somewhere. Pretoria.
It's happening in Pretoria.
In Pretoria.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, come along. It's on Thursday night. It's tickets are online.
Yeah. We've got some great acts. 047.
Okay.
Gonna be there.
It's gonna be a good night to remember. We'll be there talking to people as well. So.
Wow, that will be nice. Thank you very much, guys, for coming. I'm happy to have you guys. And listeners and viewers, you've heard it all. Please, 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 just keep yourself under control and let God lead you. You will definitely find love. Love is real, and you will enjoy the rest of your life. Thank you for listening. Hope to connect back with you same time next week. Thank you. God bless.
This message was sponsored by friends and partners of Living as One events. You are invited to our singles and married couples event featuring seminars, talk shows, Q&A sessions, single mingles, couples games and many more. You may visit our website for details of our events and register at www.livingasoneevents.com. You can also get our books on relationships titled Why Should I Get Married and Living as One. We also do counseling for couples and singles who want to make the right decisions regarding their relationships. For more info, please contact us on 078 255 4517 or email us at livingasoneevents@gmail.com. Please tune in again for another episode of Love and Relationship. God bless you.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. brandlive.co.za